I think that R5 pick is also going to be interesting, right? The Hilda has a lot of work cut up for him, right? In order to prevent Harley from scaling out of control. Definitely, you have to see Powerful just go in, slam onto Kelvin as much as possible. But I'm also glad that Aezu kind of goes back to the script just a little bit, goes back into his Leo mode, something more comfortable. If this is the time where you kind of go back into something that you always play in the regular season, this game is it.
As we go on to go in on a slow beat, we start things off slow. As you take a look a little bit more onto the XP lane and the gold lane, we break things down a little bit as to what kind of priority are we expecting here.
Gold lane for design, I would say if Claude knows how to play, it becomes a skill matchup. It's easy pickings for the side of Vennn, but CS on the other hand is a better wave clear. Mid lane on the other hand, Lane can just always do this, Alpha can also do this, but there's not a lot of damage, especially in early game part, because Bladee you're not expected to do a lot of damage, whereas Powerful does have a lot more damage, especially in roaming through. I'm leaving the XP to you because you're the XP expert.
Yeah, honestly, when it comes down to between the two of them, it is always come down to a point whereby the Phobius can't really do anything in the lane until he reaches level 4. In this case, Esmeralda will always be happy with what he has got.
Oh, they taunted out, Victor's already committed. They'll be going for it.
Doesn't look like Jayy have a lot of HP to work with, but he does have to revitalize, so he's not particularly too afraid. But here comes Aezu, immediately just jumping right in, summons Barbie and takes a kill.
Man, Kelvin landed on the deadly magic onto a Powerful, and that's the main intended. I don't think that's the main intended target. Should be onto Blade instead. So Powerful, luckily he blocked that deadly magic, and then after that, you know, it delivers a first kill over the side of Aezu, a Leomon that's looking to scale. He is starting his first step.
I really want to see just how big of a deal this Esmeralda is going to make. Take a look at Blade. Because of the deadly magic, it will still go down either way. It's not going to be that big of a deal for a Juicin after all.
That's tick damage though, but that's also a big problem because Blade is not joining the fight right here.
Barbill spawns are right down, immediately just jump right in. We do have a part of the demonic, we do have the demonic strike coming in. They're just gonna be pushing the rest of the members from the side to ignite away. Doesn't seem like Kelvin will be able to survive from all of this. Take a look, and we do have multitude of members from the side of Evil slowly just whittling down. Aezu is gonna be the one that goes down in the end of the day. Powerful manages to push Diablo away too.
Man, this is crazy coming off of Team Evil. They are not in a very good spot to fight, even because they don't have Blade in tow as well. But somehow they still handshake the team fight, all because Powerful on the Hilda does a lot of damage. Surprisingly. Not surprised.
Maybe.
Actually, I'm not surprised.
Not really. But 80 seconds in until the next turtle appears. Do know that the turtle did manage to go over to the hands of Evil. There's not much of a gold advantage from either one of these two teams, but perhaps we can break things down a little bit as to what we can expect when it comes down to the power spikes, and when are we expecting to see Evil or Ignite play?
I think right now for the side of Ignite, the fact is Jayy doesn't really have his ultimate as of yet, so that's why, you know, the Roamer wasn't able to contribute as much, whereas Powerful, you know, even a Hilda before level 4 does a lot of damage. We'll be able to knock back and also do a lot of damage. Kelvin, if his deadly magic doesn't land properly, it's just gonna be a lot haywire. You land it on the Powerful. Powerful is more than happy to take it. And then after that, you know, Roy, once the glooms just run out of battery, once you finish all of it, you don't really do a lot of damage anymore.
Are they holding on to a fight for as long as possible? Is going to be really important, but I'm not too sure if an Ignite can do that. As such, Roy will go down before he's able to find any opportunity to pop his black shoes.
You can't activate your black shoes when they're dangling in mid-air. That's what Blade said earlier just now. And all of a sudden, Team Evil back in the driver's seat. They've been taking a lot too much L's, and they're not happy about it.
Evil really trying to display the evil magic that they have gotten for themselves, playing just as aggressive as possible. That has been the go-to in Game 1 and Game 2. As long as they go in, they will eventually be able to do well. But right now, we do have the Trials Wrap that managed to connect. But unfortunately, did that turtle be the one that killed Powerful? That's the question that I actually have. Aezu will be able to take down the turtle right now, and they will, for the side of Diablo, just going to be pushing himself right into the side of Vennn. Unfortunately, even though the falling Diablo did connect, Diablo wasn't able to land the final shot as Gear came in to save the life of Vennn.
Dude, this is is when I'm like super surprised with the players. They're playing a lot of very crazy clutch plays, especially here, right? On the phobias, you know, forcing a fight against Ignite on that choke point. That's where the focus really shine. You see him flying mostly in the air. Speaking about flying in the air, Bladee on this Juicing and just literally picking up members one after another from the side of Ignite Gaming.
We see a lot of mobility, or rather movements, coming in from Evil. They're constantly trying to pick out hits and kills over the side of Ignite. Indeed, they do have one kill on top of Ignite, but that realistically didn't really do anything to impact the economical advantage towards Ignite. Right now, they're still even Stevens. The only thing that's not exactly too even Stevens about is the fact that they do have got most of their gold funneling over to the side of Aezu as compared to Kelvin, which Kelvin currently is having a little bit of a tough time.
But right now, if you're looking at the scaling composition, Evil technically scales better as compared to Ignite Gaming. But we've been here before. Kelvin on this Harley has made miracles happen. Remember that particular game that just changed the whole tide because somebody decides to walk into the wrong bush at the wrong time, and that was a Leo mode if I remember correctly.
Well, that did not hit much of a nostalgia for me, unfortunately. But perhaps we'll be able, it will be able to shake up something right now.
But I think Jayy on this Valeric, I mean, on paper it works well, but CS needs to get online first. But right now here, you know, he's already was able to just absorb so much punishment from the side of Ignite Gaming, picking up 2 assists. That's absolutely wonderful, and feels like, you know, he's ready and gearing to go over and over and again in bot lane.
CS, he will definitely be suffering a little bit of awful. Immediately went in for an execution down onto the side of CS. Jayy is unfortunately unable to do anything as they lost their marksman down in the bottom lane. The turtle is also going to be in the priority of Evil, and not to forget, even taking down the T1 turret down in the bottom lane.
Man, that's just a double whammy against Ignite Gaming. That momentum is really costly against Ignite Gaming, right?
Triple whammy now.
Triple, yep, with the turtle. In fact, it's the BMI from the side of Vennn just in the nick of time. BMI just get out of the Valoric's ultimate, and it makes it so much easy. CS getting taken down means, you know, Ignite Gaming is stepping one step back, whereas Team Evil taking one step forward.
With all 3 turtles going to the side of Evil, we do have a very good priority for Evil to move on to fight against the Lord eventually. Yep. Aezu is currently at level 11 as opposed to Kelvin at level 10. In terms of retribution quality, it's pretty clear as day that Aezu is doing a pretty good job. Also, in the meantime, we take a look at the player gold ranking. Vennn is currently at the top of the charts, and this is not looking great at all for his counterpart, and that is going to be CS, only at 4.3 thousand gold.
Yep, the CS truly pop off when the golden staff is there, right? I think it's compared to a Claude golden staff, and it's still not too bad. But when the corrosive science comes in, that is when the Claw truly gets even scarier. So I think CS right now is ready to fight, but right now I feel like Team Evil is coming in a very awkward angle. Their whole composition is anti-dive, but why are they diving in?
No, Kelvin, not looking good!
Wait, hold on! The hat-trick! You better get away! Oh, maybe not!
And Marvel goes in, still managed to hammer that axe right into his face, as all 4 members from the side from Ignite now have to cower within of the T1 turret.
Man, Aezu suddenly popped all the way back to life. Thank goodness for the killing spree talent, right? And that's how Kelvin wasn't anticipating, because he's the Lord Jayy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Panic. They panic. They panic so hard. They lost the Triumph round, and now they're just going to be losing members after members.
Man, it just goes pandemonium for the side of Ignite Gaming. This is where I was talking about earlier just now, right? This game is the one where we differentiate great and greatest. And it seems like Team Evil is taking the first step in becoming the greatest for MPL Singapore Season 11.
Unfortunately, Ignite is starting to lose hold of this game. As you take a look at this, Gear went in, of course. He flickered out of the fight. He flickered out right after his S2. Jayy immediately reacted upon that. It could not be, it might not be a panic press, but it could be because of a skill. What's it called? The skill
swiping thing, right?
It's a Q, right? So when you click, you wanted to cancel, but it is already queued up. As such, right after your knock-up animation, it automatically bursted out, even though you did not click it at that moment.
Man, that was That was an absolute disaster for the side of Ignite Gaming. I'm not going to sugarcoat that one, Abstract. Team Evil saw the opportunity, they clinch it, and now they have a Lord marching up against Ignite Gaming.
This is not exactly the end that I wanted to see for the side of Ignite Gaming, because this is going to be grueling, cruel. If Evil were to win the game just like this, sub 12 minutes, not looking good. But as you mentioned, we do have a little bit of a sneaky peeky like gameplay coming from Harley.
Bit of taunt coming out from Jayy though.
I don't know if Kelvin will be able to do anything at this point in time, but Jayy is currently in the midst of the fight. He doesn't revitalize, but he will be knocked down.
Nobody from the side of Ignite Gaming was ready to go in. Everybody has no choice but to watch their tree get taken down into the jungler. And now Team Evil is knocking on Ignite Gaming's doors.
There's absolutely no way, because now Kelvin is looking for other avenues of farm. He had to go away to the opponent's orange buff in order to get himself right back on track. Level 13 to level 13, at least when it comes to retribution. Oh, they lost so bad! Oh! When it comes down to blazing to it, that's not enough to bring CS down! That is gonna be one of the main ways that Ignite is able to clear the wave. And now Jayy is in the back board, not able to do anything, losing 2 throughout that fight.
Jay's main role right there is to go in and out, try to make a play right there, but unfortunately CS went down. Kelvin was trying to enter from the back line, but Team Evil is more than happy to handshake this one. Team Evil, just that dive I would say is crazy, but they made it work.
We're currently down by 6,000 gold for the side of Ignite Gaming.
Lightning Trinket for the side. Kelvin could be the differentiator here, but is it a little bit too late? Just now, Kelvin was trying to burst down Aezu earlier. Just now, we did not see it happen, especially when he's skilled.
Ignite. They have to play things slow right now, knowing that they are far behind of Evil.
6k gold lead.
6k gold lead. And if we were to compare gold lane for gold lane, just from there, sub 3k of lead that Vennn has. That single blazing duet is more than enough to bring from a 100% CS to a 0% CS.
I never knew you could actually minus creep score. But
damn.
I feel like Vennn effectively have done that, right? Especially when Vennn has already secured the Corrosive Snipe as well. I feel like CS right now should have its own, but it's just, the juicing, right? I think the first pick carry may be the problem here for the side of Ignite Gaming, right? Giving Bladee that juicing in this particular patch. And also, Roy relying on the ultimate, Jayy also relying on the ultimate to be casted. Just saying, once it picks you up, your ultimate is getting cancelled, man. And
unfortunately, not only that is the containment play that we wanted to see from the side of Diablo. He's unfortunately nerfed because of the juicing in this place. If Ignite were to pick up the juicing, they could probably play this game very different, because not only does Diablo can contain, but the juicing can contain as well.
Yep.
Right now, the container is the one being contained by Bladee.
It's like putting another Tupperware into the Tupperware, right?
Indeed.
But for the others, for the side of Ignite Gaming, right? CS has secured the DHS. This could be it. Right now, if you're powerful, you have to play a little bit careful right here. But Ignite Gaming, I think this anti-dive comp is not working out, because Team Evil is diving against you, and I think the gameplay, they're really pulled apart right here as the Lord tears around mid.
Not too sure about how big this fight is gonna be, as the Lord rips the middle lane T3 to shreds. The rest of the members from the side of Evil, they are not too interested in being going all in just for this one Lord.
Yeah, that's a good defense coming up from Ignite Gaming for now, but they've got to have to do a lot more. Team Evil, that's an open lane for Team Evil to kind of swoop in. Vennn secures a Malefic Gun already, and now the Power Spike item. Ignite Gaming is playing from behind.
They could potentially be able to kind of clear this out, as we do have Creep Wave that's just going to be marching down from the bottom lane. Blink goes in, Powerful goes in as well, but they got really being taunted down. He's going to be the one going down. Powerful not going to be doing well, but take a look at here. It goes down too. We got 2 bosses down from the side of Evil already, but they tried to go for a little bit of trade. They lost 2, but at least the bottom lane T3 is down.
Taking 2 members for the side of Team Evil is good. This is what I was looking for the side of Ignite Gaming's anti-dive composition. The Belleric role is to wait for Team Evil to jump. But if you take a look at the replay right here, Jayy just holding out down at the same time, and Aezu and Bladee, it's a little bit too far away. But once, Jayy unleashes the ultimate, right, it kind of forces Team Evil to really fight him right down underneath. But once Vennn goes into the blazing duet, he's not actively hitting the turret. So that's why Team Evo, the members of Team Evo, is taking too much turret punishment.
They're getting a little bit too desperate right now.
Oh.
But the reference tries, that's going to be popping right out, and Kelvin will be even going to kill out Aezu. Just a big one. Not the one that we want to see taken down from the side of Evil, as they now have a 35 seconds timer onto their head. This will be enough for Ignite to recollect themselves, to prepare themselves for the upcoming Lord.
Yeah, and now Team Evo should be able to enough time as long as they buy enough time right here. But it's also very pivotal for them. If Ignite Gaming gets a pick-off against Team Evo, it's a little bit too scary right now. But Ignite Gaming does have 2 lanes open. Team Evo can easily flood it in.
The rest of the members coming in from side of Ignite. They're constantly just going to be on the run. They're just going to be looking for a way to go. Kelvin lets the daily magic down over to Juicin. And now Diablo taking a lot of enmity over to the side of here. Buys a lot of time, but Powerful currently at level 14 versus Kelvin at level 15. That's going to mean a lot.
The Lord being leashed all the way to the side of Team Evo. There's a small little window opportunity to get slam shot by the side of Team Evo. Right now, they're already respawned right here. Ignite Gaming looking for an angle to try to go all the way in, but they need Team Evo to dive them. That's how they be able to win for the past 2 team fights.
At least right now, there is still a possibility for Ignite to be able to do something right now. Barville is just going to be spawned right now. He's just going to be putting himself right to the face of Roy. But right now, Vennn is going to be taken down by the side of CS. The blazing to win for Vennn. He will be able to shred them to pieces with 2 men down. Diablo brings Vennn down. And now Evil, they're holding on as much as they can. While Diablo makes a quick getaway to ensure of his own life.
Right now, Ignite Gaming is struggling to go all the way back. You only got Diablo and Kelvin as well staying alive. Team Evo doesn't pack any marksmen right here. The super minions are marching in against Ignite Gaming, and Diablo desperately trying to pull the minions away.
Barville is still going to be spawned right down. And right now, with the trusty steed, they will be focusing all of their fights down on the Diablo. I don't think it's going to be enough to take him down as well. If they want to force down this core, it might not be good. Daily magic, only a sliver.
Aezu forced to retreat right there, but he bought a lot of time for Ignite Gaming to defend the base. Team Evo right here does have a clear line towards the Lord as well, whereas Ignite Gaming is busy doing base defense.
It is really of a tough game, especially since we saw that Evo was, what, 6,000 goal lead on top of Ignite, and now
you strike off
defense.
You strike off 1 digit right there. That was 600 gold lead in the favor of Team Evo. At this juncture, Abstract, gold lead doesn't matter anymore. It's now about positioning and how to maneuver around it. Albeit Ignite Gaming has a disadvantage. 2 lanes in the mid and the bot open for Team Evo to easily swoop in.
There's still some point where the itemizations might come into play. We do have Aezu that did manage to, I believe, probably sold something, and he does have the immortality for himself. Lord perhaps have more than enough money to get himself the immortality.
Lord press it down half HP. If you notice how Jayy's positioning right there.
He's gonna be still alive just for a tad little bit, but Diablo might be looking for a little bit of an avenue. Just focus down on the Vennn and ensuring that he will not be able to get the fight. And now Kelvin takes the Lord down, blinking to a blast of course. When he comes up with the truck and he will want to do as much damage as possible, he will start sacrificing himself. The rest of them are evil. They were trying to get himself running away, but Aezu, he got the rest of Evil.
A total wipeout, Abstract. Crazy games coming off in Ignite Gaming at the nick of time. The Lord in their hands. 3-man, 4-man as well, with minions coming in against Team Evo. Evo 30 seconds out. Abstract, this is it.